What happens when our society becomes so tolerant that it's oppressive? I mean, where we can't say, write, or even believe what we want, lest it hurts somebody's feelings, lest it disagree with others. What happens when our society deems acceptance more important than sticking up for beliefs? In Colorado, a bakery is sued as private industry loses the rights to stand up from their knees. I've seen this before, studied it in class. We're becoming what Rome was as we appeal to the mass. You see, acceptance and tolerance led to their downfall. What happened to rights and our First Amendment? When do we let a government decide what we can say, or when we can say it? The land of the free, the home of the brave, where a Christian can't practice his religion without being afraid. It's an epidemic, an infection, a disease. What about those who die for our rights, the men and women who go off and fight? Our soldiers, Coast Guardmen, Marines, sailors, and airmen can no longer go on. We can't stay in this teddy bear world where we'd rather oppress than offend. They give the military chaplains and say, fix depression, fix anxiety, fix suicide and PTSD, but you can't go and tell a serviceman that this is what helped me. You see the problem, it's rooted in society, but it's hurting the men and women in our military. Chaplain Lawhorn gave a brief on depression. He finished his talk with a standing ovation, but instead of promoted, he's kicked out of the Army. No Christians complained about his secular advice, but he sealed his fate when he talked from experience and he mentioned Christ. The Army didn't care about the lives saved that day, but instead, with one complaint, they sent him away. And it doesn't stop there, because apparently it's not enough to tell chaplains what they can't say. The government also must tell them how they have to pray. Get this, the military loves to be openly religious. It can even name canons Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, or have every ceremony opened with an invocation, but insist that it appear nothing more than just an introduction. I'm sick of this facade, a Christian front hiding a hostile environment, all behind this phrase of political correctness. This is all good, at least in theory. I'm all for protecting people's feelings. The problem starts when you see this isn't some world where everybody just thinks like me. At what cost do we protect people's freedoms? Do we take away speech, religion, and freedom? How can we take away a chaplain's life-saving help because one man didn't like how he felt? These men and women, they serve our country. They fight, kill, and die. They see brothers and sisters buried. They return just to struggle to reacclimate, all to protect this country, to protect you and me, to protect our freedoms. These very freedoms, kept by rivers of red, are under attack, but not from a force that could actually push us back. No, the enemies are bureaucrats and politicians who have made this their very mission, to steal soldiers' very rights that they fight to protect. It's time for us to take a stand, to protect our freedoms, to speak up, to protest, fight back, and spread the word, and stand up to this absurd obstruction of justice and rights. Join me on my goal. Make a difference. Save our society from this sinkhole and dissent and obstruction of our First Amendment.